So hello.
Hi.
Now this interview is in English. Nice to see you.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
The sun is here, so I'm not. No, it's not right. You
Okay.
must turn
Turn. Okay. Better?
now. For you, it's difficult now.
That's okay.
It's okay. Well, you can go here,
Okay.
like here. Okay.
What is that?
Where do you come from? You're a tourist.
Yeah, I come from Seattle, Washington, Pacific Northwest of the United States. I'm living in Würzburg for 6 months, actually working for an internship.
Do you work?
Huh?
What are you working?
Doing physics, working with lasers and
Lasers.
yes,
What are you doing with the lasers? Or
they're gas sensing lasers, so they're able to detect any type of gas that we want to.
okay, this is very special. So,
Yes. Yes.
but very interesting, I think.
Yeah.
So you stay here about 6 months, you said,
Yes.
and then you go back.
Yes.
What? How long you now here?
I've been here for about a month.
A month. What difference are you recognize between the American and now this German city,
Yeah.
German town?
German cities are a lot older and, in my opinion, a lot more beautiful. There's so much more to see and a lot more people that are kind of around and walking and doing things. In U.S. cities, you'll go downtown and not see very many people because there's a lot of open space in America, so people drive everywhere and they stick to themselves. But I've noticed in Germany, people are around.
Are
You just
more
look around here.
together? The
Yeah.
German are more together.
Yeah, I mean, if you look around here, there's tons of people walking around. They're everywhere.
No.
Yeah, see? All over. But in the US, this would be a rare sight, unless you're in a big city like New York or San Francisco.
Yeah. Okay. Are the German people are more relaxed, or what
I
do
think
you mean?
so. I think they're more relaxed.
More relaxed.
There's kind of a bit of a relaxed nature to the German lifestyle, I believe. Because people, they'll go to their markets in the morning and get the bread and take care of their families, and it's more people oriented.
What is the American way of life? I always hear this sentence. Nah?
Yeah, yeah.
What is the meaning of this sentence?
The American way of life, I think, is really different to each American. Some people believe, it's to make as much money as you could possibly make, so you don't ever have to worry about anything for the rest of your life. You can have a nice house, you can always eat anything that you want, you have drive any car you want. A lot of people, that's what the American
This is
life is. The
way of
American
life.
dream, the house with the white picket fence or something like that. But to a lot of other people, it's to get to know people, because I think personally knowing people in the US is fairly rare. It's not super common, and so to a lot of people, that's what they want. And actually, a lot of Americans have started to go to different countries like Germany, and they don't want to come back. They love it a lot, and so I think the American life is starting to change. But it used to be about owning their house and owning the car and all this sort of stuff. But now I think it's starting to change more towards caring about people.
Okay. In which countries you made holidays until now? Where did you war? Oh, my English. Where do
Yeah.
you was until now?
So now I was mainly in the U.S. I went to Canada a couple times. It's really close to where I lived. So
Do you always stay in America, in the States?
yeah,
It's a so big country, no? And
yeah. There's so much to see.
so much to see.
Yeah, that I never really.
Rocky Mountains.
Yeah. Rocky Mountains, California beaches and sunsets and everything from the East Coast.
Really.
There's so much in America to see, and I haven't seen even close to half of it. But I wanted to experiencing something new, so I'm in Germany. And
Sorry when I ask you this question, because when I hear America, I always have this topic in my mind. Do you have, or your parents have, at home a gun?
okay, I have a gun personally, but my parents don't. They don't like guns, and they
why,
live.
why you bought a gun? And I think this is a very dangerous thing.
Yeah.
So why you bought this? You feel frightened or what?
I was going on a backpacking trip with my friends in like northeastern Washington, and there's not really a whole lot over there except for bears and cougars and things like that. And with our food,
for the animals.
yeah, it was
Really?
it was dangerous, so we bought rifles.
But
just
after
to
this
protect
trip,
ourselves.
normally you can give it back, no, this gun.
I kept it because it was fairly expensive, and
so.
sometimes
How much
friends of mine.
is a gun? How much expensive is a gun?
The one that I bought was about $300,
$300.
so it's fairly expensive. But I mean,
Is this a problem in America that everybody can buy a gun? I've heard he has only to make a signature under a sentence. I don't kill the president. And that's all.
mainly, I
so?
don't kill anyone, not
But
just the president.
how easy is this to buy a gun?
It's very easy.
It's
to buy
very
a gun.
easy.
Yes, it's very easy to buy a gun. Me personally, I don't think it's such a terrible thing that we can all buy a gun.
It's not so a big problem.
It's not such a big problem because there's nobody that I know that would ever shoot somebody. People that I know personally and I know well would never shoot
But
somebody.
you say the German are relaxed. Do you don't think that when I go through the streets of a big city in America, then I don't know how many people have a gun with her, with
That's
him.
very true. Very true.
So this make me not really relaxed. When I see somebody and with sunglasses or like this, and then I say, oh, I don't know, he has a gun or not, and okay, I know he don't make me injured, but
Yeah.
it makes me really a bit frightened.
Okay.
You don't think it's is this the opposite, or this is yes?
To me, it's almost the opposite, because knowing that there are people out there that do have a gun or something like that, if something were to happen, I believe they would take charge. And if somebody were to try and start killing a bunch of people,
Why is not the police enough in America?
It's
When,
just-
when
I
I
think
have
it's just
problems,
too big.
I ring up the police, and then
yeah,
why
I think
is
it's
this
just
not
too
in-
big.
Eh?
I think the cities are just too big, and there's too much space for
So I
police
have
to
to
cover.
wait. Perhaps, sorry, I break you, but
Yeah.
I have to wait perhaps about 2 hours
Okay.
when I have a problem with somebody or like this. What do you think? It's when a city is big, I have to wait so long, or why? What is the problem?
Well, it depends on what your problem is. And
It depends.
If
yeah.
you call in saying that somebody's,
You robbing
somebody's
me,
robbing
robber,
me, there'll probably be a policeman there within 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
But still, in that time,
Yeah.
somebody could, shoot you.
Which news are you watching or listening or reading? What is for you your favorite news?
Sure. I mean, most people I think know that like the news in America is fairly biased. It kind of tends to go either towards the Republican side or the Democrat side, and certain news stations will either be pro-Democrat or pro-Republican or very specific. So I think to get the best news for me, I have to watch both, because it gives you get two sides of the same story.
On television, on radio, or in the
television.
internet? On television.
A lot of stories on the
How
internet.
many stations do you have in television in America?
Oh, a lot. Depends on.
I've heard about
Depends
20
on
years
your-
ago, America has already about 100 stations. What now? How many stations do you have in America?
My parents have, I think, over 1,000.
1,000
Over 1,000 stations.
original stations,
A lot
TV stations.
A lot of them are like streaming, kind of. So it's
Streaming.
like just specifically for sports games or something like that. But
Okay.
there's a lot of. But it depends on.
But I'm not
providing
jealous.
TV.
No? I'm not jealous. I say now I have my YouTube app, and
Yeah.
the channels are all like television stations now. So.
Yeah.
And they are sometimes more interesting than the professional.
Generally, and like Netflix and things like.
Netflix.
Do you know Netflix?
I have heard, yes.
Things like Netflix have kind of made it a lot easier.
Okay. Now I come to the most important topic. Why I interview you.
Okay.
Always in the news or the last years, is the topic of the Islam and Muslim people.
Yeah.
Do you know Muslim people in America, or what do you think about this topic, Islam?
The topic itself, I think, is so varying. There's so many different ideas and sides to this topic that it can be kind of dangerous to choose a side in America almost. Because if you say, I'm anti-Muslim or something like that in America, you're going to have a lot of people angry at you. But if you say, I support Muslims and all this sort of stuff, you're also going to have a lot of people angry at you. But my personal belief and opinion on this is all people need to be loved equally and all people need to be taken care of.
I think like in Germany, some people says all Muslims are the same. No? You know this type of people who say they are all the same for me, but and the other more intelligent there's they are different.
Yeah.
No?
Well, if you're going to say all of them are the same, then you could say all Germans are the same or all Americans are the same. We know that's not true.
That's true.
So you can't say all Muslims are the same.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think the reason that we have such a bad view of the religion or those people in specific is because what we see on the news are the bad things. And we see the killings and
not praying. Praying people are boring.
Yeah. We want to see who's dying, and we want to see all this.
This is when I keep on watching.
Yeah, and I think that's a huge problem because the majority of those people aren't violent, and they are, I think, a lot like us. And I think we need to really love them and not.
You was ever in a mosque?
No,
in your
I have
life?
not.
Never.
Never.
You come from a big town, you said?
Seattle, yeah.
Seattle, how many mosques have Seattle?
I'm not sure. I've seen 4 or 5.
4 or 5.
But there's probably
Do you think
more.
it's difficult to go inside and watch the people? What are they doing? Do you think it's difficult?
I don't know.
Are they surprised when you go inside and say, hello, can I watch you? And can I see when you are praying?
Yeah. I think if you were to try and do that, you'd get a very split reaction as well. I think some people would be like, no way, like, this is our private thing, this is what we want.
Really? It's private? You think so?
I think some people at least.
Some people.
But then others would be, yeah, absolutely.
Oh.
Like, we want you to see what we're doing. I mean,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
I'm not really sure. I've never tried.
Okay, now I say to you, the one who is standing before you is a Muslim who converted to Islam 20 years ago. I'm Muslim. I convert to Islam 20 years ago.
Okay.
And I find my God in Islam. This probably is surprising for you. And I want to know the meanings of the people, about the Muslim people. And now you have the chance to ask me something.
Sure.
Not the question who all wants to know why I'm in Islam. What I found though, because I have so often answered this question. But what? Perhaps another question.
Well, if you don't mind me asking, where were you before?
Before I was in the Catholic Church.
Okay.
Yes.
And
yes.
I come from a Christian background.
Really?
Not necessarily Catholic, but just kind of having like non-denominational.
You are practicing this?
Yes.
Practicing. What is your practicing? You're praying every day?
No, it's kind of a... Well, now that I'm here in Germany, I don't have my church that I go to anymore. My church that I go to is back in Seattle, so I don't really have, that.
And in Seattle, you are praying?
Yeah.
Every day, or only on Sunday, or what?
Well, it's kind of a personal thing that you decide to do if you want to, you know, when you decide to
want
pray
do it,
and
no?
yeah.
Yes.
So for me, I was praying every day. You know, I still am. You know, most of the time. But it's kind of a thing that people decide if they want to pray, what they want, how they want that relationship with God to go. But yeah, I don't know.
Very interesting. Perhaps it's interesting when two different religion people are talking together.
Yeah.
Yes. Perhaps you can also do interviews and ask people in German. Okay, when your English is difficult.
Yeah.
What do you think about America? And then you ask the people, 700 people perhaps, and then you know what the people think about America. Perhaps it's very interesting. No? I say also. Then you perhaps you say no, okay. 70% is positive and 30% is negative to America, like this. But perhaps like this, these interviews would be interesting. No?
Yeah. What have been your findings with your interviews?
I find this type of talking. A woman of a radio station comes to me, and he says she makes interviews for the radio station. He make she's only about 6 months, like you, in the radio station. Now they want to do practicing.
Sure.
And then I'm watching her microphone, and then I see it was an MP3 player with a special docking microphone on the MP3 player. And until now, I didn't have any handy or like this to interview. And then I say, then after this interview, I think about and thought about, and then I say, oh, I have an MP3 player now. I have to look if there's a microphone for this MP3 player. Then I look in the internet. I buy this. There was a microphone. I bought this microphone, and then I say I want to do the same. I want to, like a radio station, to go around the people around in the city and ask the people. I know when you made 10 interviews, then you get another idea. That's an interesting thing. You get a new idea, and then I say no. My next questions, I say different things. So it gets more and more interesting.
Sure.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
It was very interesting. And then now I give you my website now.
Yeah, great.